What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a great day. So today's video is going to be about the ever-increasing price of Nepenthes. I know that everyone's kind of noticed that there is a low end and a super high end of the market, and things have gotten pretty crazy with the prices of certain plants. So maybe just cover a little bit about it, talk about it, conversate about it. It's all the same words anyways. But let's go ahead and get into it. So what happened? Why did this macrophylla that was once $200 can now fetch a price of about $650 today? That's almost better than Netflix stock. Why is that? Well, a simple answer is supply and demand, we know that most macrophyllas are, relatively cheaper when it comes to, these plants. They can fetch about $200, but on eBay they have been fetching about $600 to $500, especially seed-grown plants. The AWs, you can usually catch them around $200 to $300, but that's if you're pretty quick with it when a major grower does release them. But most of the time you're going to be spending a little bit more money. That plant has become very popular within the growing. Obviously everybody wants very toothy plants, so yeah, that's one of the plants that's subject to the ever-increasing prices of these plants. And I think for my take on it, everyone's probably going to have a different opinion. I think it's mostly because the government, the Fed, pumped more money into the economy. Everyone had enough money to start, buying plants like crazy. So it's kind of one of the major things that kind of happened. But for the most part, the big pump that happened in the market for everything is kind of slowing down now, but you could still see and catch most of these Nepenthes going for really high dollar amounts. What? And they're still selling at those prices. What the fuck? Now, why is that? Well, I think the main reason is because Nepenthes in itself is becoming a bigger hobby for most people, or people that are just getting into it. Some people that are into snakes are getting into this hobby as well. Fish, it really depends on those people that were in that in different hobbies, and in most cases those hobbies were probably on the higher end, because let's be real, the fish hobby can be very expensive. The snake hobby is very expensive. I have a couple snakes myself. These plants are not, for the most part, they've never really been cheap. If you look way back in the day, I remember when going to California carnivores, I was spending $50-$60 on a small plant. I remember my parents back in the day were like, "What are you doing? That's ridiculous," because if you go to Home Depot, the average price is about $5 to $10 for a plant, and you're buying a plant that just eats bugs and you're spending double the money. Well, now those days are over, and we wish that you could have loaded up back then, but you never knew that these plants were gonna do what they have done today. For the most part, this can be a difficult subject to talk about, just because I think that there is two major reasons that the plants can fetch these type of prices, and it comes down to the simplicity of tissue culture versus seed grown. If you don't know what tissue culture is, it's just practically replicating a cell of a plant. I don't want to get too much into it. Maybe I'll put something up here, maybe just a quick pop-up explaining what that is, because I don't want to butcher it. But that's practically what it is just replicating the cell. So let's say you get a bical, or this Melancholy cross Veitchii here, right? If this plant was a tissue culture plant, but it's not, it's seed grown, that every single plant would mostly look like this. There's not going to be much difference when it comes to the look of the plant. But when it comes to a seed grown, such as this Loya Veitchii Bashiana yellow, look at this guy. This guy's really nice looking. But for instance, a seed grown plant,
I'm better. I am better.
Or based example of plant like this would be Loyi gothica, wrapped peristome. Most of the Loyi gothicas had a much wider and bigger mouth than the wrapped peristome version. I believe originated from Flora Collaborative or Native Exotics back then. I'm not 100% sure. I think they're the ones that gave it the name. But yeah, that was the most sought after. Mine is right there. It did flower, but it kind of died back a little bit. I don't know if the camera will focus, but I used to have really nice pictures on it. But that's one example of the plant being much different than the rest. A wrapped pear stone version, still to this day, with all the abundance of cuttings that are available, still fetch $200 to $300 when available, and they're usually snapped up really, really fast. I purchased mine for about $250 about 2 years ago, and it's just an absolutely stunning plant, regardless. But that's an example of a seed-grown plant, not regularly available, and when they do, people want them very badly and wants them in their collection. I know I was one of them, and I was willing to pay upwards of $300-400 for one, but luckily, I didn't get butchered on that pricing. But another example of that plant would be Nepenthes Veitchii Candy Dreams, originated in Japan, I believe. Don't quote me, but like, no, bro, you're wrong. No. I really don't know the exact origin, but I believe it came from Japan. Then we finally got it into the U.S. I'm not sure who got it first, but the first example of it for sale that I personally saw was from Carnivero. If you have more information, obviously put the comment down below. But I saw it on Carnivero. I believe it fetched around $2,500, and during the big pump of money into the economy and everything like that with the stimmies, that plant obviously got snatched up very quickly. And just recently on eBay, it sold for about $5,000, which would technically beat the record of Jeremiah Harris, most expensive plant, but I don't think it's going to be logged into the world record, but I don't know. So it sold for $5,000, and then that individual also sold, which is Nepenthes Vibes. I'll put his Instagram link. Super dope plants. He also listed another plant for about $3,500, and that one sold. I think that's the price that it sold. So that's definitely a case of a seed-grown plant, getting cuttings. Everybody wants that plant in the collection. I'm definitely one of them.
I don't need it.
I didn't want to pull the trigger because I got a project I'm working on currently. But yeah, I would have, honestly, I probably would have paid that type of price, maybe about $3,000, but somebody paid up to $5,000, and that price can keep going. I'm not sure. I think Red Leaf Exotics might have sold one for $20,000. So that's just kind of for reference where this plant market can definitely go. If some of these Veitchiis are selling for $20,000, that's pretty insane. But you never know. You could have a plant right now in your collection that's a sleeper and that everyone might eventually want over time. That could fetch upwards of $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You never know. Like that Veitchii right there. Look at that guy. Guy's all brown, beautiful pear stone. Haven't seen one that's a seed grown, one of one. Never know. And so yeah, obviously, in my opinion, seed growns are a little bit more superior than tissue culture.
I'm better. I am better.
Oh God, I just started a whole debate. But I think tissue cultures are great for, kind of bringing the price down on certain plants. I don't even know what I'm looking at. You guys are just like looking into like vines and stuff. Definitely bringing the price down on certain plants. It does help. For example, actually, Nepenthes Hamada. Like back in the day, Nepenthes Hamada was asking tremendous prices. I remember the first time ever seeing it go for sale. Obviously, it was a seed-grown plant. I saw it for about $1,000. I couldn't believe it. At that time, I didn't have like uku bucks to go spend like $1,000 on a plant, and I was just like, wow, that's pretty crazy. But thanks to tissue culture, that plant came down significantly, and now you can catch a Hamada for about $50 if you're looking for that ultimate deal and you're pretty spicy with it. But for the average, they're going for about $100, and then for the Tambu CCs, I don't know if I'm saying that right, you can catch them for about $200. A larger plant will always go for more money. So if you see a full adult Hamada that is also flowered, more than likely it's going to sell for still asking those crazy prices, with about $1,000. But you're getting to know that the plant is already fully grown, close to flowering, and if the plant's already flowered, then it's obviously it justifies the price of the plant. A perfect example of like a beautiful seed grown plant here is this Edward Sienna, or Ventricosa sibuensis cross Edward Sienna. If you can see that, I don't know if the camera, there you go. Yeah, look at the teeth on this thing, right? I bought this guy for about $400 from Red Leaf Exotics, but its origin was from EP, obviously. Most of the time, EP plants usually catch a larger bid. But let's say I'm the only one that have a Ventricosa sibuensis. I don't, but I'm just saying, say mine has the only teeth, or it has more of an eddy body, and people start really making a big deal about it. Obviously, I'm gonna put it up for auction when it has a basal or cutting. I'm not saying I'm doing this. I'm just using this as an example. But and then the bidding goes up because it's a more sought after plant. I'm the only person in the world, because the seed grown is a one of one, to have this plant, and it just go absolutely insane. I mean, some things can go like that. We've seen it in the past if you've been paying attention to like eBays and stuff like that. So that's a perfect example of a prime genetic seed grown plant. Yeah, this thing's crazy. And this guy probably won't hit tissue culture, just because I don't think a EP does those type of things. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Look at the little pig. Alright, well, that's pretty much it for the whole video. I don't know if I exactly covered everything that you would want me to cover when it comes to the pricing of Nepenthes. I could get it really technical into it, but I don't want to. Honestly, this is my third time trying to make this video. The whole first video was about to be an hour, but I wanted to cut it down. I mean, if you guys want a longer version maybe in the future, then I'll do it. Here's a quick little ramble of ever-increasing prices of Nepenthes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or you want to start a debate, please comment down below. I appreciate you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.